Yo, my name is Marcus Russell.
Let's get fit, man.
It's the Marcus Russell Show. The U.S. Senate has finally enacted a bill to support its federally funded programs.
Mm.
Newt Gingrich had a lot to say about the Biden administration not being available.
Yeah, so make sure you hit the subscribe button. We really need y'all to do so. Trying to reach 1,000 over here.
I need it.
So come on, man. Let's play the video.
Just roll the clip.
Gingrich, Fox News contributor and former Speaker of the House. So much experience here. You said yesterday, and I caught your post on X, President Trump and Republicans should not be afraid of a government shutdown. Do you still feel that way?
Certainly. When I was Speaker, we had two government shutdowns. One was pretty long, I think 20 some days. It convinced President Clinton that we were serious, and it convinced the American people that we were going to keep our word even if it was hard. I think that
Gingrich used to hate Clinton. He's the one that impeached Bill Clinton.
Hmm.
That was the second longest government shutdown we ever had. The longest was in 2019. Was in Trump when Trumpito was in office for 36 days. We had a federal shutdown. But this shutdown stuff, it really doesn't affect normal citizens, just federally funded programs, police stations, the government, the post office. But 36 days is a long time for the post office to not be running.
Exactly. And I think if they are going to do some shutting down, they need to see these government-funded programs, is the money going to the right place? Because a lot of these people have these crazy net worths.
Right.
Their salaries 100,000. You know what I mean? And they multi-millionaires.
These politicians, praise
Exactly.
God, they didn't actually figure out a budget. They just got this relief act just to hold us over until March
Okay.
the 14th.
Trump's gonna come up with something.
Yeah, give time
Basically.
him to get back in control.
everybody misjudged what President, even if it was hard. I think that everybody misjudged what President Trump won when they bring in a 1,500-page bill that is a joke. That was not a continuing resolution, as you pointed out. You know,
Oh,
this
but
was
you know
actually
the bill that they just enacted is only like 128 pages.
The bill.
Yeah, honestly, like Newt is the king of shutdowns.
Uh-huh.
Um, I feel like the 1,500 page or the 1,500 page bill that they had, it had a lot of stuff in there. But my main thing that I noticed, the Democrats only threw one item in the bill or a couple items, um, but they mainly were concerned about their own net pay.
Exactly.
They wanted to get raises. There haven't been a raise added to the budget bill since 2009, almost 20 years. So like that was that for them to be the people's party, they was only concerned about themselves during that time. That the Democrats put because you know the budget they're just like, what about that bridge? What about the where they had the tornadoes in Florida, the relief for that, and then like that bridge that on that toll road that got knocked down in DC, they
Okay.
trying to fund that. But the Democrats was only worried about themselves during this hearing, so
That's the Democrats are turning to the
they
people, the people that you don't really like.
it's so crazy
It's
because
backwards.
you remember
Negativity.
that Chip Roy we was watching when Chip Roy he cussed everybody out. He
Yeah.
cussed the Republicans. They was about to go through with that budget 1,500 page budget. It was bipartisan. Everybody agreed, but then Elon called and he said, "I don't like that bill, and I don't care how long the shutdown lasts." And then Trumpito called him back, but that Trumpito wants to raise the debt ceiling. So I support that. I'm with Trumpito on that.
I'm
Exactly.
all for it. Let's keep going, man.
brand new omnibus spending bill. And it was a total violation. It was politics as usual. Don't worry what the candidate says before the election. He's going to sell you out afterwards. Well, Trump didn't sell him out. And now we're facing the first great reality of making America great again, which is a Congress filled with people who love pork, love taking money home to the district, love deficit spending, love big bureaucracies, and they're colliding with the man the American people picked to change things. I think that President Trump would be much better off to let the government close, to let Biden sit there as a totally incompetent president presiding over a mess, and to go to the country and say to the country, I am not going to be a president who sells you out. I need your help to convince the Congress to pass a good bill. I think the country would respond.
Let's focus on Biden for a second. He cut his vacation short,
Here
so
it
did
is,
the
y'all.
Vice President,
Where is
Kamala
he at?
Harris. And I understand that if there were to be a tie on this in any way in the Senate once it leaves the House, then she, as the vice president, would break that tie. Biden coming back from Delaware to go off to the next destination, I don't know that that helps anybody anyway. He's basically AWOL. I want to get your thoughts on that. And we haven't even heard from him on this process.
Look, I wrote a piece the other day at Gingrich 360 saying that Trump is the de facto president because while technically Biden is still president until the 20th, he clearly has just quit. I mean, it's unbelievable how much he's out of touch with reality now. And even the New York Times is beginning to report it, which means it must be really, really bad to make it into the Times, which makes, by the way, raises the question, who actually put together the list of almost 1,600 pardons and commutations?
Yeah,
That's
Because
a
you know
great one.
Biden did
1,600
and
killers, everything. He did some crazy pardons. We
Was
probably
that
need to do it. Biden,
Biden? Okay,
1,600 people got pardoned. And I ain't talking about just them, his homies that haven't committed a crime. I'm talking about people that are in prison for murders,
a
etc.
lot of stuff, a lot of
Man,
just
crazy stuff. He
violent
didn't make that
crimes.
list. He just had somebody accept money, probably. You know what I'm saying? It's
Trying to tell you
obvious
guys,
what's
he's about to
going
get out of
on.
office. So what he's taking as many deals under the table as he can, because the money flow's about to stop. He just want money for Hunter at this point because Hunter's gonna need a lot of money for these cases he's about to go through.
The whole government's about to switch over. So a lot of these people who's not even gonna have jobs no more. They trying to secure their kids' legacy.
Exactly.
You know what I'm
well,
saying?
and some of them are pretty sick. I mean, there are some people on that list who really should never have been paroled. So you have to ask yourself, who's really running the government? Who's really making the decisions? And I think that Biden has now collapsed to about 66% disapproval, which really may be the highest disapproval since Herbert Hoover. So I think, from the Republican standpoint, they need to be calm. They need to be committed to changing things. Now, they do have to find a way to talk to themselves. There is a no caucus that wakes up every morning and says, I know the vote
The
is
no
no, what's
caucus.
the question? And those folks have got to come together and really understand they're in a new world.
Are
They're
they
in a
on
world
both
of
sides of
helping
the aisle?
President Trump.
The no caucus? I hadn't heard of
Well,
that before. but
no.
No, okay.
No, on the Democratic side, Teddy Kennedy used to get awake and say, "The answer is more money. What's the question?" So there is a more money caucus on the Democratic side, but there really is. This is going to be a very serious challenge, and one of the first great challenges of the Trump presidency. There are about 20 members who have to learn that they're now a majority. They have a president. They have a program. They've got to learn to vote yes. Their hand's not going to fall off. Their arm isn't going to wither. They've got to be part of a team. And that's going to take a lot of talking and, frankly, probably a lot of pain to get it because these folks have now spent 10 or 12 years learning how to be totally obnoxious and totally self-directed and to think that they're morally superior to the other 180 or so Republicans who are trying to get something done. This will be one of Trump's greatest challenges, but he's awfully smart. And I think as he pays attention to it, he'll gradually figure out how to get it done.
Look,
And not to put so much weight on Trump though, he is a little bit older, but the team that he has, I think makes him almost like he's a
Man,
40-year-old man.
all his picks so far, except for Herschel, I ain't really feeling Herschel, but all his
Yeah.
cabinet picks so far, I support.
Herschel, what's his
Even
last
Pete
name?
Hegseth, Herschel Walker.
Herschel Walker.
Even Pete, I'm messing with all of them. I'm feeling all of them. But like Gingrich is a legend in the Republican Party.
Yeah.
He ran for president, I think, in 2009.
Mhm.
He didn't win, but he had a good run. He's been leader of the Republican House since 1979 when I was born. You know what I'm
That's a long.
saying?
That's a
So
long
he's a
time.
legend. When he gets up here and says, this is what it needs to be, like the party needs to respond. But ultimately, the Republican Party is united front. You see how that, like I said, they was just about to go through with the bill, but then Elon called, and they still was going to do it when Elon called, but then Trumpito called, like, no,
Yeah.
I don't care how long we'll let this thing shut down. And it's going to kill the legacy of the Biden admin. And if we go into the new year without, if we would have, you know what I'm saying? He didn't do nothing. They just put a band-aid on it
So I
until
was gonna
March.
say if, but no, I want to say when. When Trump gets us out of a little bit of this debt, fixes the economy, and people can go out there and afford gas and groceries again, the Biden administration, the history of what he did is going to be like problem. Everybody's gonna look at it as like a huge problem.
I support raising the debt ceiling. I'm not that type of
Yeah.
Republican. Forget that debt. You know what I'm saying? So Trumpito sees that too. We need more money funneled into this economy.
So we could do something
Right.
about the debt, because that's
Period.
that's really the only answer at this point. He
Period.
said, "What was the There's no question if the answer is money.
Yes, yes,
There's not.
yes. Money, yes. What's the question?
That's
I need
it.
more money now. What's the question?
Keep going, man. That's what we got.
You were mentioning earlier that the Democrats were in total violation, and I wanted to complete that thought. I was thinking they're in total violation of negotiating in good faith. I mean, when you come to the table and you have all the cookies and you mentioned pork and everything else in there, because that's the big word for what we call it, but there were just a lot of little, like, deliciously sweet goodies in there for Democrats, and you really think the other side won't play ball with you. You think, oh, it doesn't matter what we put in it. They're forced to play ball. They've got somebody new in the White House incoming and an absent nature of the guy there already. I want to get to that just a little bit and get your thoughts on that total violation by Democrats.
Well, look, they're the party of government, and they're the party of goodies, and they hold their coalition together by paying them with your money. So they have a vested interest in the biggest possible spending bill, taking care of the widest range of their allies. And, you can't blame them. They are who they are. It's like blaming lions for eating zebras. Well, they're lions. That's what they do. Democrats love pork. They are the party of government, which, by the way, is why if we do go to a shutdown, the pressure on the Democrats will very rapidly build.
That's
because
interesting.
the fact is, it's their allies, it's their coalition. And, of course, Trump intends to shrink the government. He's going to put Uncle Sam on a diet. And the Democratic wing of Uncle Sam doesn't want to go on a diet. They want milkshakes and goodies and maybe a little bourbon.
Sweets, yeah. You got it. Real quickly, I had told our audience just previous with some of our numbers and polling just how many Americans want what's happening. Maybe they don't want a shutdown. I wouldn't go that far, but they want upheaval. They want change in Washington, D.C. How swampy is the swamp these days compared to when you were there?
Oh, it's probably 2 or 3 times sicker. It's really been it's like watching cancer spread. We were able to balance the federal budget, but remember, we had to shut down twice in order to get Bill Clinton's attention. Now, once we got, and everybody said, oh, this will be terrible. We were the first re-elected majority since 1928, and it happened after the 2 shutdowns because the American people said, oh, these guys are different. They actually mean what they say. So I would urge Republicans, stand firm for very large-scale change, fight it out, and rest comfortable that while the Washington news media and the Washington lobbyists and the Washington bureaucrats are all going to go crazy, the rest of the country is going to applaud finally having a majority that actually intends to change it.
Yeah. What would you say to those people who are facing the holiday season looking at a shutdown? Because you've been through this before, and people were not out in the streets protest. I mean, they were watching the situation just like we're watching it now, saying this is change.
Right.
Look, a huge part of America is going to continue as usual. People are going to go to Christmas dinner. People are going to watch NFL football and college football. People are going to go shopping. People are going to go see movies. Relax. This is the constitutional system. The founding fathers feared dictatorship. They divided power up so no dictator could make it work. We can barely get it to work voluntarily. That's exactly what the founding fathers intended, and it takes very hard work. And frankly, this is the largest transition since Franklin Roosevelt in 1932, and it is going to be difficult. This is riding a wild rapid. It's not a houseboat on a lake. This is going to be a wild river, but it's a river that's going to get us to a dramatically better, more prosperous, and safer future.
Speaker Newt Gingrich, thank you very much.
Hey, yo, I love this dude, though. This is what I like about Newt Gingrich. You know
He's
what
been
I'm
in the
saying?
business for a long time.
Before he was in politics, he was a professor in history and geography.
So
Like,
he knows what he's talking about. You
he's
see,
a
he
teacher.
named he time stamped it 1928.
He was
He
a
can go
teacher.
real far.
In 2000, right after he ran for president, he was Time Life's Man of the Year, like how Trumpito is now. Google it,
I didn't know that.
YouTube.
I didn't know that.
He was Time Life's Man of the Year, just like my president Trumpito was this year. So you got to be the man to be the Man of the Year. You know what I mean? Check it out. Make sure y'all hit that subscribe button.
Hit that subscribe button, y'all. We got a couple videos dropping today, so be on the lookout for those.
Yo, peace.